These days I say that my mediums are conversation and participation. I am typically a pretty shy person, so I'm not a person who finds it easy to go up to random strangers and have a conversation with them. Many of the projects that I've done, I think about as being tools that make it easier for me to have conversations with people and sometimes make it easier for other people to have conversations with one another. How can I essentially make a conversation piece that makes it easy to start talking to someone? My name is Peter Haakon Thompson, and I am an artist.
I've been pronouncing it Haakon all this time.
So it's my middle name. It's not part of my last name. I'm named after my two great-grandfathers, Peter Thompson and Haakon Halvorsen. So I just like to use it because I think it's a cool name. I grew up in Minnesota, and photography was pretty much all that I did as an artistic medium. And I was really interested in place and landscape, and so I'd been making this long-term series of self-portraits that were sort of self-portraits but also landscape photos. I'd been volunteering at Intermediate Arts in South Minneapolis. In the course of that, sort of realized that there were artists all over the place in the community that you wouldn't necessarily know were there. And so that's when I came up with this idea for the A project. The A project primarily consists of these little 5.5 by 8.5 window signs that have a red letter A. And underneath the A, it says the household displaying this letter supports arts, artists, and the ideas they contribute to our neighborhood. And the idea is that people put them in their window as a way to let artists know where they are and create a sense of solidarity among artists in the community, and hopefully use it to strike up a conversation with someone on your block that you might discover has an A in their window. So a lot of people are like, is it about adultery? The answer is no. Part of the thing with the A project was it just got me thinking about other ways that I could be an artist and use my artistic brain other than making photographs. The Archanti projects came about because I was curious about small spaces and in particular ice fishing houses. You know, I'd been interested in this idea of art that takes place outside of galleries and in the open, but just having the experience of people coming into your shanty and saying like, well, what is this thing? And telling them that it was art, you know, seeing them have this realization that like, oh, this is art also, you know, I mean, that was really amazing to me. I've started to notice that there's a lot of empty flagpoles in my neighborhood and actually all over the cities. And to me, they seem like sort of perfect space to use as a gallery. I think about flags as being art as well. So I'm making flags for neighbors that have vacant flagpoles. And it's partly also just an excuse to have a conversation with neighbors and meet people.
Hello.
Hey, Andre.
Peter, good to see you again.
Yeah. So I have a Artist Initiative grant from the Minnesota State Arts Board to do this project this summer called Flag Services. Thanks for agreeing to do the flag project.
Certainly.
So the flags that I make, think of them a little bit as a portrait of the person or the family or whoever lives in the house. Okay, you said that you were in the military at some point as well?
Yeah, back in the 80s, I served 7 years in the National Guard.
Okay. I don't have a whole list of specific flag-related questions, but really it's just like, how do you find out about someone and what things they're interested in and what they do? So you're not in the military now, so what do you do these days?
Now I'm a private investigator.
Really?
Right,
Huh.
Yeah.
Can you just tell me a little bit about what things, I know that you're into gardening.
A lot of people think of yard work or gardening as work. I think of it as therapy and relaxation.
Is there something else that you're really interested in or passionate about?
I keep my old shoes, and I use them as planters.
Really?
Right.
Huh.
Yeah.
Do you have some favorite colors?
Usually darker greens like forest green, hunter green.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, thanks.
You're
and,
welcome.
We'll be in touch. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Have a good day.
You too. The flags that I make are really inspired by house flags, and house flags are a kind of flag that ships fly on them. So they have a kind of a particular design aesthetic to them that I really like. I should say I'm also a sailor, so I like a lot of things that are nautical. Many things that start out as part of my life or just things that I do for fun end up migrating their way into my artistic practice.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, good.
Good. I
to
got
see
your
ya.
flag here. Yeah, nice to see you too.
All right.
Come on out. Here it is.
All right. Nice.
I was definitely thinking about all of the gardening that you do and the
green,
time
yeah.
you spend in the...
Yeah. Yeah, looks great. I
All
love
right.
it.
Okay, well, should we put it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Okay. Hoist her up. Can you turn the fans on or something?
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
Okay.
Love it.
Thanks.
Love it.
Okay, now we just need some breeze. I work at Springboard for the Arts, and what I'm working on right now is something called Ready Go, and it's essentially a roster of artist-made projects that are about creating conversations and interaction. You can really tell that someone is a mobile artist when they have a whole lot of trailer locks on their keychain. I've got 3. I wanted to create a ping pong table that could move about and sort of bring this experience anywhere. I mean, sometimes I joke half seriously that table tennis was one of like the most important things that I learned while I was in grad school, just because it's informed my artistic practice, but it's also really become a huge part of my life. The idea of it is that it's a temporary table tennis trailer that can kind of go anywhere and make a little instant pop-up park. 1412? You know, one of the things that I've definitely been interested in, and I think the Art Shanties really taught me about, was this idea of expanding the idea of what art can be, where it can take place, and sort of how people can experience it. Just because I feel like the more that people have an experience with art, I just think that's a positive thing for all of us. So I'm really interested in ways that can happen, that idea of what art is and can be expanded.